Do I have insecurity working in tech? Heck yes. Big time. And why? Because I feel like my English is not fluent and I have an accent. So if you're like me, watch this video. Hi everyone, thank you for stopping by. My name is Tina Louise. In this channel, I talk about career in tech, a day in life, and some personal diaries. Working in tech might sound very fancy, but it's also very stressful because everyone around you is very smart and you need to always perform at your best. Although I feel like I'm always trying my best and stay alerted and work hard, deep down I still have this strong sense of insecurity when it comes to my communication skill. And because I have an accent and I might not speak fluently, people will just trust me and respect me less. And because of my insecurity, I become very not confident and speak less in meetings and rarely raise my ideas. But after working in tech for so many years, I've discovered that my insecurity actually doesn't exist. And why? Because for all the companies that I work for, including companies like Uber or startup, I've seen so many top performing colleagues that got promoted, but English is not their native language. Yet, they progress so well in tech. And I'm gonna tell you why. First, I truly believe that English is a communication tool. It serves as a tool for you to talk to another people. It's not a prereq for getting a good job, if that makes sense. As long as you can deliver your points across in the meetings and you can actually effectively talk to another person, no one cares if English is your first, second, last language, or if you have an accent. What matters in the workforce is if you can effectively share your idea, if you can bring value to the table versus how great your English is, even you're a native speaker. I used to think that because I have an accent, so no one will want to listen to me when I voice my ideas up, and because of this, I never really speak up in meetings. But then I realized one thing, because one time in one of the meetings, I just have this urge of sharing my idea. I just think my idea was so great that everyone have to know. And at that time, I'm just like, I need to speak up this time. I can't hold back anymore. So at that time, I spoke up. And after I spoke up, everyone in the meeting was like, oh yeah, that was a great idea. And after the meeting, my manager actually came up to me and be like, hey Tina, you had such a great idea in the meeting today and I will really encourage you to speak up more. Then I realized, oh, the whole time I fear about because I have an accent, no one wanna listen to me. It's actually not true. People value our ideas so much. People want other people in the meeting to be engaged, to share ideas, to bounce ideas. It doesn't matter about your language. It doesn't matter about your accent. It doesn't matter about if English is your first, second, or last language. Later on, I always reminded myself that, language is actually a communication tool. It's less of an accent. Sometimes having accent is actually a beauty because I just create a diversity. And it's actually the content that what you're saying that creates value versus if you have perfect English, you have zero accent. The second point I have is that for people to find a good job, it's not actually about your language, if you can speak good English or not. It's about if you understand your competitive advantage. And what I mean by that is when you're job hunting, yes, English is very important because you have to make sure you can talk to the other person. You have to make sure that you can showcase your skill set during the interview process. But the skill sets and what you can bring to the table is actually what helps you to stand out and actually what helps you to outshine your competitors during the interview. It's not about how fluent your English is anymore. For example, when I started out my career, I knew that I love sales as a job because I love seeing people to be convinced by me, and I love selling a product I truly believe in that can bring people value, and the people who actually agree to buy the product I'm selling, it just gave me a lot of excitement and I knew I love it. That just gave me a lot of feel. And I also know I love technology. It doesn't matter if it's software or hardware. Fun fact, actually, I remember growing up, I want to be the sales for Dyson vacuum because I'm so obsessed with cordless vacuum and I wanted to work for Dyson to sell their vacuum so badly. Anyways, I knew that if I were going to be sales in tech firms selling softwares, I probably wouldn't have the competitive advantage because English is not my strong suit. If I were going to be selling products for B2B and software like Salesforce and all that, I might not stand out because I don't know the culture enough and I probably wouldn't be able to build that with my client, I feel like at that time. So I decided to find a job still in sales, but somehow can use my other advantage. For example, I speak Mandarin. So how can I find a job that is something that I'm good at, which is sales, which is something I'm excited, but also use not only my English skill sets because I speak English still, and also my other skill set, which is Mandarin. So if I can find this perfect triangle and I can find something that just in the middle of the perfect triangle, probably that would help me stand out. So that was my strategy. And throughout the job hunting process, I found this job at Uber, which is an onboarding specialist that required me to speak Mandarin so I can onboard a lot of Chinese restaurants to Uber Eats platform. And I still need English because I'm not just onboarding all the Chinese restaurants. I also have to onboard all the other type of cuisine type of restaurant that require me to speak English. So I found my perfect spot. And that helped me land my first job in tech. So the key takeaway is really understand what your competitive advantage are. Write down a list of that, and also write down a list of things that you are good at and you want to do and you're passionate about, and then try to combine those and see if there is something like that in the job market. And the chances are there will be. You just have to find them. And the last point is be good at what you do, because after working in corporate for so many years now, what I learned is sometimes it's not about what you say that gain respect. A lot of time it's what you do. Because you're so good at your job, even though language is not your first language, even though you have an accent, but because of the decision you make, because of the value you bring to the table, you gain respect in that sense, if you know what I mean. I've been seeing a lot of my colleagues, English is not their first language, but because how they're able to present their ideas, because how they're able to bring value to the team, that actually helps them to stand out, even though they still have accent in speaking English. So I just want to say action speaks louder than words in a lot of scenarios. If you're constantly showing up for your work, have great work ethics, stay curious, ask a lot of questions, brainstorm with your colleagues, and be helpful, collaborative to your teams, and always strive to be better version of yourself on an everyday basis. Again, no one really care about your accent. No one really care about if English is your first, second, or last language at all. Sometimes the beauty of diversity is because people from different culture, different background, when they come to the same room, they bring different perspective into the meetings. They bring different perspective and ideas to the organizations where the organization can be a better product in the market. Last and final word is you always have to remember that you can offer a lot more than you think you can. So don't let language or English be the barrier for you to find your dream role. So I hope this video can provide some reassurance and confidence to those people who are concerned that English is not your first language, and if you can actually find a job in tech if you don't speak the language well. Remember, English is just a tool for you to communicate. It doesn't define the value of who you are. Focus on your competitive advantage and focus on be a better version of yourself every day. That will help you really stand out in your career. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment below to let me know that this is something you're interested, so then I can make more videos like this. As always, thank you for watching and see you guys later. Bye!